In today's video, I'll set up an aquarium for rare shrimp and make a few mistakes that almost ruin everything. Stay tuned, because to tell this story, we need to go back to the start. For this build, I'll be using a 3-gallon cube aquarium. It came with this sleek and really bright light that looks great on the tank, so I'll be adding that to start. After doing some research, I decided that this contra soil is the best for my setup because it helps provide nutrients for plants, buffers water to a slightly acidic pH, and also lowers the hardness, all things that Caridina shrimp really need. After adding a good layer of contra soil on the bottom of the tank, I quickly spread it around so it's all even. Now it's time to fill the tank. Caridina shrimp are very picky, so I'll be starting with reverse osmosis water, which has almost zero dissolved solids in it. After that, I'll be using some bee shrimp mineral GH+, which helps to re-add minerals into the water that are removed by reverse osmosis. This increases the general hardness without increasing the carbonate hardness. Once we get the water to about 130 ppm, we can add it into the tank and know that it's safe for the shrimp. Once the tank is filled up, we can add in our heater and begin heating the water to around 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it's time to add in the filter to keep the water clean and introduce beneficial bacteria into the tank. I'm a huge fan of this tank so far, but stick around to the end because I make an error that's almost fatal to the shrimp. In the meantime, let's spice this tank up, starting with some Java moss. I ordered a bunch of this from eBay, so I quickly give it a rinse to clean it up and make sure no duckweed gets into the tank, because once you have duckweed, it's almost impossible to get rid of. Then I spread it around and get it ready to try something that I've never done before, but always wanted to. I'll be trying my hand at making some moss mats. For this, I'll be using some high-grade stainless steel mesh, which I fold in half and then place some of the moss inside. Looking back, I should have done this differently and cut the moss so it grows in multiple different directions, but you live and you learn, and it still worked out pretty good in the end. I then fold the mesh shut so the moss won't float out and tie it with some string. The idea behind this is that the moss will slowly grow out through all the holes, making a lush carpet. Once I complete the first one, I've got an idea of how to do it and keep cranking out until I have 6 total. Now for the satisfying part. I take this little squeegee thing and move the substrate back to make space for the mesh. It's full of bubbles, so it looks really cool when I do this. Then one by one, I add the moss in the front with hopes of it growing in super thick. Right now it looks a little bit rough, but by the end of the video, it will look better. Now here comes the part where I make a crucial mistake. I timed the shipping of the shrimp to arrive way before the tank was cycled, which is a huge problem when it comes to Caridina shrimp, so stick around because keeping them healthy is gonna be hard. If you watched my video where I flew to New York to review some aquarium stores, you probably know who Andy is. He's the one who shipped these to me and did a great job packaging them to make sure they arrived happy and healthy. In this tank, I'll be adding 2 different types of Caridinas, red galaxy pintos and black galaxy pintos. These are some of the prettiest shrimp I've ever seen, so I was super stoked to get them. I pour them all into a bowl to get them ready to slowly acclimate to their new tank water. And like I was saying, they're super picky to water conditions and temperatures, so I'll be slowly drip acclimating them with the tank water that is now 72 degrees over the course of 2.5 hours. While these guys are acclimating, I'm going to try my best to introduce as much beneficial bacteria into this tank as I can. I'll start by adding in a piece of cholla wood from one of my shrimp jars. The plants I ordered did not come in the mail yet, so I'll be using the plants that came in the shrimp shipping bags and anchor those to the cholla wood with some string. I'll then add this into the tank to give the shrimp an area to hide and also to graze on for food. Next step, I grab a few more plants from one of my other established shrimp tanks and plant them in the substrate. After that, I quickly add in a piece of sponge from one of my old shrimp filters to instantly transplant beneficial bacteria into the cube. I'm hoping this is enough to jumpstart our system, but I'm not convinced, so I'll be keeping a super close eye on the water parameters over the next few weeks to make sure I can get ahead of any problems before they arise. One by one, I start adding the shrimp into the tank, and they all swim off seemingly healthy and happy to be out of their bag. I can tell the shrimp are hungry from their travels because they all immediately start looking for food. While they do that, I'm going to put some finishing touches on their home, like adding in an air stone to make sure their water is full of oxygen. And I'll also throw in 1 Indian almond leaf to add some tannins into the water. Then I'll drop in a couple lava rocks from an established tank of mine because they're full of beneficial bacteria as well. Last but not least, I'll put this lucky cat next to their tank for fun, and I'll kill the lights so they can relax. On day 4, everyone is doing really well, and it's time to add some more plants. I quickly remove all of the rocks from the tank because they will be the anchors for the plants. For this, I'll use Aquarium safe super glue to attach the plants to the rocks. Once the glue dries, it's totally safe to go back into the tank. Once I repeat this step for all of the rocks, we're good to go, and this will add new hiding spots and food sources for the shrimp. Once I add them all back into the tank, it doesn't take long for the shrimp to get curious and come over to see what's going on. But at the top of the tank, we have a problem. 2 of the red shrimp somehow got stuck in the filter, and now I have to figure out how to get them out safely. So I grab a few tools and get to work. With the precision of a surgeon, I eventually catch and release the shrimp back into the tank, out of harm's way. I can tell this traumatic experience stressed them out because they immediately both go into hiding, so I'll kill the lights and we'll check back in on them in a couple of days. On day 9, all of the shrimp are still doing amazing despite having the odds stacked against them, so I feel that it'll be okay to add 1 more shrimp to the tank. I have this crystal red Caridina shrimp that's been chilling with a bunch of Neocaridina shrimp, and I can tell she wants to get back with her own kind. After drip acclimating for a long time, I pop her into the tank and kill the lights so she can acclimate. I wasn't filming much because I've been traveling for the holidays, but it's now day 35 and all the shrimp are still alive despite their shaky start. The tank has exploded with growth, there's microfauna everywhere, and the walls are covered in green dust algae, which shrimp love. I can't end this video without feeding these guys on camera, so I'll be dropping in a little bit of high quality Caridina food. For this I use a glass feeding bowl. It just helps me to remove uneaten food so the water stays as clean as possible. As soon as I drop in the food, the 2 largest female shrimp are already fighting over it. Word spreads quickly because within 5 minutes, the majority of the shrimp are circling the dish and getting a little bit of food as well. Random side note, but I think that these red shrimp look a lot like Wagyu steak. Maybe that's just me though. As for the experiment with the moss, it's doing pretty good, but I think I should have cut the moss up rather than put it in such big clumps like I did. I think it will fill in, but it probably just will take longer than it should have. Overall, I learned a ton doing this build, and it looks awesome on my nightstand. Thanks so much for watching if you made it to the end, and please take it easy on me in the comments as I'm learning and growing every day in this hobby. Last but not least, I had some stickers made for this channel, and no AI was used in the process. I hired an artist for the designs, so if you guys want to check those out, they'll be in my YouTube store on my page and in the description. No pressure either way. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.